We are back at it again with yet another live. And today we are talking about, should a black person really be Captain America, and the significance that Captain America holds over all other superhero titles. So that's what we're talking about today. All right. So what's good, guys? Oh, y'all just came through. Yeah. So today we're talking about, should a black person really be Captain America? Normally, what's good, guys? So normally, on Sundays, I post the review for Falcon and Winter Soldier, the recent Falcon and Winter Soldier episode. But instead of posting a review for Falcon and Winter Soldier, I am going to do a brief overview of the last two episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then I'm going to get into, should a black man really be a black person really be Captain America? Because fun fact, Marvel announced that the next Captain America is actually going to be a black woman. The irony is not lost on me at all. So should a black person be Captain America, and why Captain America is a more significant superhero symbol than any other superhero symbol. Lampard in the building talking about they sleep, but that's what they usually do. Anyway, so what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jonathan D'Angelo, aka Johnny D, and you are tuned into another episode of the Blur Review. And today, tonight, tomorrow, in your mama's basement, where we supposed to dwell, wherever you are listening to this, we are talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes 4 and 5, and should a black man or black person be Captain America? So, quick recap, if you guys didn't see Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes 4 and 5, they were in Eastern Europe going after the main villain, and I don't think that she's a villain, I really don't. And they were trying to dismantle the Flag Smashers, and Sam goes to the leader of the Flag Smashers and tries to talk her down, man or woman. It doesn't work because Captain America gets impatient, storms in there, they get into a fight. And what's that dude's name? Battlestripe, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. But he ends up dying in the conflict, right? And Battlestar, whatever his name is. You guys tell me what his name is. But, that's not the point. He's irrelevant. I never liked this character anyway. Very token character. But he dies in the conflict. Captain America goes after one of the Flag Smashers, kills him in front of a crowd full of people who record the execution. Because that's basically what it was. Battlestar. That's basically what it was an execution. After Battlestar was killed, Captain America goes after one of the Flag Smashers and executes them in the middle of a public square with people filming. So next episode, Sam and Bucky go after him, trying to take the shield from him because they know that he's going to be brought up on murder charges. So Sam and Bucky run his fade. Sam takes the shield from him, and Sam and Bucky spend the rest of Bucky spends the rest of the episode flirting with Sam's sister. Sam, his sister, and Bucky repair their family's boat. And and Sam goes to see Isaiah Bradley on the implications of what it means to be black and be Captain America. And that's where I'm going to stop the review. That's the review. I'm going to stop it right there. So now we get into the juicy stuff. So Sam goes to see Isaiah Bradley and asks Isaiah Bradley about his story. And Sam and Isaiah Bradley have a conversation. Isaiah Bradley tells him that, he thought his experiment was penicillin. The government disguised it as medication. And then after they found out it wasn't penicillin, that it was actually the super soldier serum, there were a couple trials of super soldiers with Isaiah Bradley that didn't work out. But Isaiah Bradley's was the one that somehow turned out to be perfect. So they imprisoned him and ran experiments on him to see why it worked. Now, Isaiah Bradley, out of all the super soldier test subjects that we know so far, Captain America, Bucky, Abomination counts from The Incredible Hulk, the Winter Soldier, the test subjects the Russians had left over from Civil War that Zemo killed, including the Flag Smashers, Isaiah Bradley was not only the most stable, but is the strongest test subject out of all of those test subjects that we know in the MCU thus far. I feel like it has something to do with genetics, which is why they couldn't actually find a reason why Isaiah Bradley's serum was so capable. Two other MCU formula test subjects were Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And Luke Cage also was able to stabilize himself. And Luke Cage was also stable on a makeshift formula. And Luke Cage is also one of the strongest with the super soldier serum formula. So I feel like black genetics plays a factor in super soldier serum. I mean, that's the only way I can explain it, because I don't think they got lucky with Luke Cage and Isaiah Bradley. And granted, Jessica Jones is stable, but at the same time, Jessica Jones doesn't have the same strength and durability that Isaiah Bradley and Luke Cage has. Isaiah Bradley took Winter Soldier out in one go. It took Steve 3 rounds to take Winter Soldier down. Iron Man never beat him one-on-one. Spider-Man was able to take him, but I mean, it's Spider-Man. He's stronger than Captain America. And Scarlett. I was going to say Scarlett Johansson, but Black Widow also was not able to take Winter Soldier down. And she, I think, is about as skilled as him in hand-to-hand combat. So I feel like genetics definitely plays a role. But regardless of that, Isaiah Bradley told Sam, he was like, America is not ever going to accept a black man as Captain America, nor would any self-respecting black man want to be Captain America. And Isaiah Bradley said that on the premise of what he and other black people have gone through in the history of America. And it begs the question, should we actually be Captain America? And I want to backtrack and take you guys on a journey of different superheroes and why black people could be those heroes, but easily, but I would have to question Captain America. Batman is a rich white kid whose parents were killed and he became Batman. Rich white kid, parents get killed in an alley, he becomes Batman, and the joke is that instead of using his wealth to build up Gotham into a better society, he just beats up the poor and disenfranchised, because those are the ones who work for the supervillains because they're poor and disenfranchised. So Batman is actually a part of the problem, not the solution. And I hope DC Comics one day talks about that. They probably won't, because they're a tad racist, but whatever. So a black person could become Batman. Why? Because if you take the rich white man out of the story, if you take the rich white kid out of Batman and replace it with a black couple with a black child, say you have a black child who came out of the movies with his family. That black child from Gotham probably lives in a lower class area of Gotham, right? Crime Alley is where they had to traverse to get from the theater, which means they probably live nearby. His parents get gunned down in Crime Alley, and after seeing the disenfranchisement and the socioeconomic status of his people and the crime and the filth and the grime that him and his people have had to live through, it makes sense for a black person to be Batman. After his parents are killed, he said, you know what? I'm tired of watching my people suffer. I'm going to become something more so that my people can have a symbol to look to for hope within our situation, within our condition. So a black man being Batman makes sense. Excuse me. A black man being Superman makes sense. Black alien whose home was destroyed comes to Earth. A black Superman makes more sense in the Snyderverse, especially because usually Superman is just this jolly old Boy Scout that just wants to do for the greater good. But on a more extreme version, think about if Superman was black, if Kal-El was black, and this is an actual comic, but Krypton blows up, he crash lands on Earth, raised by a black family, he sees the discrimination and the segregation and the prejudice and the racism and the hate crimes, And he has to decide, is this a world he wants to protect because his home world is destroyed because they killed themselves, but these people are also no better, this species, because we're a species, humans are a species. This species is no better, if not worse, because they'd rather kill their own people than work together to collective prosperity. That would make an amazing Superman story, an amazing Wonder Woman story as well. If you think about a black man could be Iron Man. A black man is obviously Spider-Man. A black woman is also Iron Woman, Ironheart. So it makes sense. Some character, a lot of superheroes can be any race. And expanding and adding a different race to these heroes make for better stories. But why not Captain America? So the reason why I don't disagree with Isaiah Bradley is because the one thing America cannot erase from their comics is the trials and tribulations of the African American and Native American struggle. They can't do it, right? It wouldn't be America without the history of America, and therefore you have to add in the trauma, racism, genocide, etc., 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 of black and other people of color. So you have to have that history. America was founded on genocide. America was founded on slavery. It was founded on the idea that we're better than you, and we're going to use our power to flex it and prove it. And black people never wanted to come here. Native Americans never wanted white people here. So, to glorify Captain America is to glorify everything that America stands for. And yeah, we have that the land of the free, the proud, and the brave bullshit, the land of prosperity bullshit, you can make it here, you can make it anywhere bullshit. But we also have realistic undertones, right? Well, you can make it anywhere if you're white, or if you're a man, or if you're not this color or not that color. We'll protect you and serve you if you don't look like them, or you don't act like them, or you don't accept these people, or you don't accept that belief. So America is very conditional in its glory, right? The American dream is extremely conditional. And so to be Captain America and to be white makes sense because this country was founded on the basis that white men are better than everybody else around them. So for Captain America to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Steve Rogers, that made perfect sense. Everything America should be is represented in this white man with superpowers. Isaiah Bradley represents everything that America is. And that's why he could never be Captain America. Being Isaiah Bradley represented the experiments, the lies, the torture, the humiliation, the disenfranchisement, the discrimination, the segregation, the turmoil of black and brown people, right? That's what Isaiah Bradley represents, the true America, the America that we know or we choose to ignore. Captain America represented the image of America that we put out to the rest of the world, okay? And so a black man being Captain America would then mean that America would have to acknowledge its core foundational beliefs and then tear them down and then create new ones on the premise that, yes, all men are created equal, like we said. Mm-hmm. And yes, we represent all people of all races. And we respect and uplift all people, no matter who they are, where they come from. America would have to literally redefine itself to accept a black Captain America. And if you don't believe that America would accept if you don't believe that America wouldn't accept the black Captain America, go Google search when they actually made Sam Captain America in the comic years ago. And white people were highly upset. Black people, a black Captain America, in my mind, only makes sense in an America that is built on different foundations entirely. So maybe in an Elseworlds, But no. And they're trying to make Captain America a black woman. They're like, oh, well, we can make Captain America a black woman. I think, they in comicbook.com announced that not too long ago, where they said that Captain America was going to be a black woman. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the article for you guys. First black woman to be Captain America will debut in the series this summer. And so they're trying, I wonder if I can get her name. They tried to make an LGBTQ Captain America named Aaron Fisher, who's a local Captain America, but now they're making a black woman named Nichelle Wright. And she will be Captain America. She will be the Captain America of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So she's not even Captain America on like a global scale. She's a local Captain America. But even then, it doesn't sit right with me. Man, people were upset when a smart black woman became Iron Man. Facts. It doesn't sit right with me to have a black person as Captain America. For two reasons. Two fundamental reasons. One, and most importantly, it's representation without realization, right? I think that's the best way I can put it. And if you guys have another way of putting it, then go ahead and shoot it in the comments. But it's representation without realization. It's saying that, oh, we'll give you a black Captain America. But I didn't want that. I wanted the laws to change. I wanted you to acknowledge your fuck ups and then fix them. I don't want a black Captain America. I want equality. But representation is equality. No, it's pacifism. I want equality. Another thing I don't like about and that's the thing. A lot of companies are doing that to us. They're pandering to us, race baiting. They're like, oh, well, we'll give you guys this and this and this. And you can say that we are trying to be allies to you. So Marvel giving us a black woman as Captain America is just Marvel saying, hey, black women, we got you over here. Come check us out. We're representing you. No, nigga, you're not. It's not. You're like, oh, we support black women by making one a local city level Captain America. No, that's not representation at all. You're just trying to pander to black women to get them to come read your comic. And what you're also doing is you're trying to say that you're part of the representation train when you're really not. And I don't appreciate that. It's disrespectful. It's spitting in my face. Another reason why I don't want a black person as Captain America is because it's like Tupac said, we're not ready to have a black president. And even though Obama did an amazing job, and Godson Obama, Obeezy, we weren't ready for a black president. They spent more time discriminating against Obama than they did trying to see what he was trying to do for all of us, or what he represented for all of us. Then when Trump got in office, all hail the king, and that motherfucker was racist and a bigot and a lot of other things. And to the point of getting impeached 2-3 times. So it's, I don't want a black Captain America because I know that America would have to change in order for us to accept that role. And Isaiah Bradley knew that as well, which is why he told Sam that no self-respecting black person would be Captain America. Because to take up the mantle of Captain America as a black man right now would mean that you're trying to represent something that doesn't exist. You're trying to represent a country with that doesn't exist. You're trying to represent ideals that don't exist. I'm black. I could be Captain America. First of all, we ain't even from here. I mean, we are at this point by this time frame. I was born in California, but we weren't even originally from here. Also, for a black person to be Captain America in a society that still ignores and still disenfranchises and still racially discriminates, racially and stereotypically discriminates and abuses us and abandons us and steals from us, still, it would be hypocritical. Because you're trying to say, well, a black man can be Captain America. Absolutely, because we represent America. No, we don't. We do not represent what America was founded on. The genocide, the discrimination, the sexism, the racism, the plundering, the looting, the stealing, the disease. Like, we don't represent that. We don't represent that. And somebody will say, well, what about the Constitution? You know, all men are created equal. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Okay, but when that Constitution was written, black people were 3/5 of a person and women didn't count as shit. So that we don't represent that we don't represent that either. And it's hypocritical because a black man taking up the mantle of Captain America. I'm not saying that Sam shouldn't take the shield and be Falcon. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But a black man becoming Captain America in this America is hypocritical. It's hypocritical. It's degrading because you're trying to represent something that doesn't exist. You're trying to represent a people, a nation that does not exist. And I have a problem with that. And it's even more of a spit in the face to have a black woman be Captain America, or even an LGBT or somebody of the LGBTQ community be Captain America. Why? Because they're just now passing laws to protect the LGBTQ community. They're still not protecting black women on the scale that they should be. Black women, it's still legal in some states for black women to not get jobs because of their hair texture. But they want a black woman to be Captain America? So she's going to be Captain America when it's time to save people and then not get a job because she has dreads. What? She's going to be Captain America when it's time to save people, but she's going to be brutally harassed at a traffic stop. No, I can't accept that. I can't accept that at all. And I agree she slays cosplay. Homelander from The Boys is the real representation of America. It is. He definitely is. He definitely is. And that's the issue that I have with Marvel Comics. No. Marvel Comics has done a good job of trying to... Marvel Comics has done a good job of trying to explain as best as they can on the simplest level they can racism and how it affects black people and how it affects black superheroes. Marvel has tried the best. It's like Falcon and Winter Soldier is blackish for superheroes. That's what Falcon and Winter Soldier are. It's blackish for superheroes. It's explaining black while being a superhero on the lowest level possible. And you know, I'm not saying it as Marvel Comics, but I will say that I don't want a black Captain America. Because America doesn't represent us. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't represent it, because we're a lot of very few in this generation. Yes, we were born and raised in America. Absolutely. But America does not represent us. So we cannot accurately, nor does America's ideals reflect and nor do America's ideals represent us. So we can't accurately represent America when America doesn't represent us at all. And that's the issue I have with a black Captain America, man or woman. It just doesn't sit right. You know, Isaiah Bradley's grandson became Patriot, and I could see that. And he comes from a different time period, and you know, black superheroes and black people have made enough of an impact by the time Isaiah Bradley's grandson comes around that yeah, he could be a patriot. Because I've defended this country. Because I live here and other black people live here. And patriotism is just the pride in a country and the people of that, the pride in the country and the people in it. So yeah, as a veteran, I have a pride in the people of this country. I have a pride in my people who live in this country, and I will gladly defend my people who live in this country. However, Captain America, no. America just don't hit for me, man. America doesn't do it for me enough for me to be like, let me grab this shield and go throw it around like a boomerang and risk my life. That's not, I don't know. That's not it. And, some people say, well, Johnny D, you were a vet, so you did that. I did, but I did it for everybody on this feed. Anybody who's watching this, all you black nerds, y'all are who I went to Afghanistan for. Because no one was going to fight for us in the streets. No one picked up a flag and said, I'm going to go fight for black people in America. I did. I know other black soldiers that did. You know, when white soldiers asked us, like, why are you guys here if you guys hate, because we would have conversations in the Army about America. And they're like, well, if you guys hate America so much, why are you in the military? Because there are black Americans that need to be defended just as much as everyone else. There are black Americans who who I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for their freedom to be able to, I went to war so that you guys had the freedom to fight against the system holding us back in the first place. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just, giving y'all an example. I fought for you guys' right to protest that Black Lives Matter, to protest against police brutality. And so I could see a black man being patriot because that makes sense. Because we are a part of this country. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I was born in this country. So I can fight for the people of this country. But to be called Captain America, and this is the thing, even if a black man is Captain America, America is not going to change to adjust their ideals because of his image. And that's another reason why a black man can't be Captain America. America is not going to say, okay, Sam, you're the new Captain America, so we now need to start changing things so that we can represent you and all people of all colors and all creeds and all beliefs that we're supposed to be housing in this country. They're not going to do it. And so what's the point of a black man becoming Captain America if America's still going to treat him the same way when he comes out of costume? Or they do Sam like they've been doing Sam. If you guys notice, because Sam's Falcon, they treat him different once they realize he's Falcon. Because remember, the police rolled up on Sam and Bucky having an argument outside Isaiah Bradley's house, and they tried to arrest Sam, even though the one who was getting hostile was Bucky. Then when they realized, oh shit, that's Falcon and Winter Soldier, oh my bad, man, I'm a huge fan. You saved the universe. Nah, fuck you. And that's the thing, Sam is only going to get treated good because he's a hero. But if he became a villain, or if he was out of costume, he'd be just another nigga. John Walker killed a man, and instead of going up for court-martial, they were like, you're going to get other than honorable discharge. Now, let me explain to you guys something about other than honorable discharge. It's ooh, other than honorable. In the military, an other than honorable discharge means that you're not dishonorably discharged, but you didn't get an honorable. But Army regulation, last I checked, and this was a while ago, they could have changed it, but last I checked, if you get discharged for an other than honorable discharge, which is basically a general discharge, you can then, after I think 30 or 90 days upon discharge, you could petition to get an honorable. So even though they stripped Isaiah Bradley of his benefits, which would have been the GI Bill and health insurance, shitty health insurance, and I know it's shitty because I'm on it. That's all he was missing was shitty health insurance and the GI Bill. That's all the benefits you get when you get out the Army. So Isaiah Bradley could have actually petitioned that his discharge after so long of being discharged and got an honorable discharge. Would he have gotten his benefits back? That's a case-by-case basis. But he would have petitioned for an honorable discharge and got an honorable discharge. Because he was a 3-time Medal of Honor awardee. So John Walker, was I not saying John Walker? I don't know. But John Walker, him being a villain didn't change anything. Him killing that man didn't change anything. His life would have been productively the same. He would have been known as Captain America, and there were people who would have actually rallied to his cause, oh, well, you did the right thing because you were Captain America and you did what you had to do. And there were people who felt that way. So John Walker would not have been out of a job. He wasn't going to jail. They let him walk clean out that court-martial, disrespecting all the officers in that building, and they didn't even go after him. That's the thing. If Sam had done the same thing John Walker did, they would have threw him under the jail. And that's why I say it's Sam being Captain America is not going to change America. Yo, this conversation reminds me of Blue Marvel. You know his backstory, right? I think he was a Vietnam vet or something like that. I think he was a war vet. I can't remember off top. I'd have to research it. But yeah, no, John Walker could be a villain. and nobody cared. They basically let him go for murder. Why? Because he's white. But if Sam had done the same thing, he would have been put under the jail, even as an Avenger. Even as an Avenger. And that's why I say Sam should not be Captain America. And I don't want him to be Captain America. And I know how this plays out, but I don't think that a black man should be Captain America on any scale. Patriot, yes. Captain America, no. Because America is not going to, what Sam is going to stand for as Captain America is not what America stands for. And Sam will be representing America whenever he puts on that costume and allows somebody to call him Captain America. And I just can't get jiggy with that shit. I can't. It's just not, it's not realistic enough for me. Like the concept, like America would have to do so much for a black person to be, or any person of color to be Captain America. And it's just not, they're not going to be doing enough. Crazy enough that clearly only have pardons for white men because of Girls Still Can't Come Back. Oh, crazy enough, they clearly only have pardons for white men because Old Girl Still Can't Come Back. Yeah, what's her name? Sarah? Steve's niece? Yeah, Sarah. She can't come back. She gave Captain America she stole Steve and Sam's gear from the United States military facility, SHIELD, so that, was it SHIELD? No, it wasn't SHIELD at the time. She stole it from the CIA so that they could go help Bucky, cleared Bucky's name, right? Revealed that it was Zemo all along and that Bucky was brainwashed. Then, because she was able to get Captain America's gear back, that allowed them to save the universe from Thanos, and she was still on the run. Her actions indirectly led to Captain America being able to save the universe from Thanos, but she still didn't get pardoned because she's a woman. So a woman could not be Captain America either. Like, even a white woman could really not hold that mantle properly. Because as much as we clown white women for doing some of the things that they do, they're still disenfranchised. Maybe not as much, definitely not as much as their POC counterparts. Not nearly, but they're still disenfranchised enough that Sarah can't come back after all the events of Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame, but John Walker can kill a man in cold blood, the wrong man at that, and an international incident, and get away with it. So this is, like, it's ridiculous. Have you seen in the comics they made a whole hashtag against Sam being Cap? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you guys, like, they protested it in the comics, and they're going to protest it in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think Sam should be, and like I said, I know he's going to be Captain America. It's already written in canon. But I just never liked that. I never liked that because Sam can't accurately represent America as a black man because America does not represent the ideals that Sam would. So somebody capping, no pun intended, and it ain't gonna be America. If Sam puts that outfit on and calls himself Captain America, somebody capping, and it ain't gonna be America. And, you know, I really wish, what I really wanted, you know, God rest the king, Chadwick Boseman. What I really wanted is for Sam to take the mantle of Captain America and T'Challa be like, why do you want that? They don't, I really wish Sam took the mantle anyway and said, no, I can make a difference. And T'Challa came and said, why? Why do you want that? You have a better chance of being Captain Wakanda than you do America because they're not going to accept you and your ideals. Do I feel like Isaiah is right? Absolutely. And if you don't think Isaiah is right, go on the news. Dante Wright was just killed because a white woman on the force for 20 years was like, I didn't know the difference between a taser and a gun. Even though a loaded gun and a taser have very different weights. 20 years on the force, you don't know the difference between your taser and your gun? Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, the list goes on and on. Mike Brown, George Floyd, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. No, a black person can't be Captain America. Absolutely, Isaiah was right. Absolutely. America does not represent all people. It represents rich, land-owning white men. Always has, and it looks like it will for a long time. And unless America changes its foundational ideals and beliefs at the core, like they would literally have to damn near rewrite the words of the Constitution at this point and change 90% of the change a fuck ton of the laws in place. A black man can never accurately represent Captain America. And the black woman that they're trying to get to represent Captain America is just clickbait for black women. That's all it is. It's just clickbait for black women. Nichelle Wright trying to be Captain America of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. First of all, where the fuck is that? Second of all, she's only a local Captain America. She didn't even get the privilege of being like a national level superhero. You know, and that's it. They just want to clickbait nerdy black women into buying their shit in the hopes that they can pull up their comic sales. And it's disrespectful. And even though Sam becomes Captain America, America will never ever reflect. America has not ever reflected the ideals that would come with somebody of color being Captain America. If Isaiah blew up as a superhero in his time, do you think that would have changed anything lore-wise in the Marvelverse? Isaiah would never be able to blow up as a superhero because they didn't introduce Isaiah until the 2000s. I think it was like the late 90s, early 2000s that they introduced Isaiah into canon anyway. And if Isaiah said it on the episode, he said, you know, they locked me up and they were scared that my story was going to get out. So they locked me up and threw away the key. And if it wasn't for that nurse that took pity on me and pronounced me dead during one of the experiments, I'd still be there. So, no. And even if Isaiah Bradley's character did blow up enough, Gary, the problem with comic books is that the problem with the comic book culture in nerd culture is that it's too white centric. White people would have stopped that in a heartbeat. And you have to look at, let's see. A perfect example is Black Lightning, right? Black Lightning is a black superhero that was penned in the 70s by DC Comics. And Black Lightning was one of the first black superheroes. It was one of DC Comics' first black superheroes. And over time, as popular as Black Lightning became, they started marginalizing his character so little that you rarely saw him. And if you did see him, he was always surrounded by other white superheroes who outshined him, like Batman. You always saw Black Lightning with Batman, and Batman always outshined him. Black Lightning is one of the most powerful superheroes in DC Comics if you go by his power base. He's up there with Flash. He's actually a god-level superhero like Superman and Flash. But even the TV show doesn't get enough traction because they don't want Warner Brothers, Warner Media, and DC Comics don't want black people to sell. Which is why they axed Supergirl and all their social justice talk, which had the majority of the black characters on it. They're axing Black Lightning, and they made Batwoman, who's now a black woman, who's now portrayed by a black woman, an ex-con, who during the day has a hard time getting a job because she's a black ex-con, and at night saves the same city that disenfranchises her. Even though it was proven that she was innocent of her crimes, they still left the felony charge on her record. So white media has a way of disenfranchising and marginalizing even the black superheroes they created for the pop culture bump. And it really irritates my soul. And Isaiah Bradley would have never blown up as Captain America because Isaiah Bradley blowing up as Captain America would force actual white America to admit that they have a fucked up system. And they're not ready to do that. They even said it on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and in Marvel Comics, they used the Tuskegee experiment as a cover, studying syphilis as a cover to inject super soldier serum. That's what happened in the original Isaiah Bradley story arc. But Isaiah Bradley and Winter Soldier was like, I thought it was penicillin. That's supposed to be a fucking vaccine. Well, no. It was actually super soldier serum. But because they stole actual true events from American history, Isaiah Bradley blowing up as a mainstream superhero, white America would have to face, real white America would have to face the fact that they've done some fucked up shit to people of color, and they would have to face that head on and then apologize for it and move forward from it in a way that puts those beliefs and ideals behind us as a country. And they're not ready to do that. So in the end, no, Isaiah Bradley could never blow up. Not I wouldn't say not ever, but he could not blow up as a superhero. I'd love to see an Isaiah Bradley spinoff, even if it was animated. Nah, Marvel sucks at animation. I'd love to see an Isaiah Bradley spinoff, like a prequel, and that'd be lit. But I don't know if they're going to give us that. Because you have to understand, man. Disney owns ABC. ABC has Blackish and Mixedish. And if you guys watch Blackish and Mixedish, they give white people what it's like to be black in baby food, Gerber baby food doses. They're not ready to do a full-blown Isaiah Bradley spinoff. Marvel wouldn't dare do that. Not right now, not yet. They're not ready for that. The backlash, the upset. And you got to remember, a lot of Disney shareholders are older white people who may or may not, I'm not saying they do, they may or may not have the ideas of the old ways of thinking. So to bring to them Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like, okay, we could fuck with that. But to bring Isaiah Bradley and expose the Tuskegee experiment and racism, Jim Crow, segregation, and all of, like, Disney could never. Listen, Disney is not ready for that. Disney is not ready to do all that. Not even. Disney is not even. No, fuck no. Disney is not ready for that. Not at all. They'd rather do it in Star Wars and be like, oh, but they're aliens, than do it in actual human setting. No, fuck no. Disney is not ready for that. And Disney's greenlit some innovative things. I'm not going to lie. Don't get me wrong. Disney has innovated some really innovative things. They've integrated a lot of Black culture into their more recent projects, but I just don't think that we would get an Isaiah Bradley. Now, I could be wrong, and I would love to be wrong, but we'll see. I appreciate this live so much because as a Black iteration, we're always expected to cheer for the Black character no matter if they're quality or not. Nah, fuck that. Listen, we at the Blurred View do not accept trash just because it's representation. Which is why I stopped doing Black Lightning live streams, because Black Lightning was fucking trash, and I cannot root for trash, even if they say it's for us, just because. And that's the thing we as Black nerds have to realize. I see a lot of Black nerds cheering mediocre shit because it's representation. Just because it's representation doesn't mean it's good. Just because they slap black on it doesn't mean that it's digestible. Doesn't mean that it's worth digesting. You know, a lot of Black people will be like, oh, there's a Black character here, guys. And it's the trashiest Black character ever. Why are we accepting this? Why do we accept mediocrity just because it's representation? That was cool back during, like, Jim Crow, when we had nothing to go on. And it was like, well, at least there was one Black person in there, even if he died 5 minutes in. Like, but we're not cannon busters, yes. Like, we're past the point of just accepting it because it's Black. And we should not accept it just because it's Black. Because we have a right to quality, wholesome content. We've had it before. Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Class of 3000, Waynehead, Fat Albert. We've had quality television and cartoons before. So now all of a sudden, because violence and discrimination is at a higher point than it has been in a while, we're like, oh, well, at least it's representation. No, we don't need to be taking steps back because we need to be holding these studios accountable. And we need to be making sure that they know we're holding them accountable. We need to stop just accepting shit because it's Black. That's not good. Just because it's Black isn't good enough anymore. And it should never have been. So, nah, bump all that. But hey, I've been talking and preaching for a while now. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys coming through on a Sunday. I know y'all had other shit y'all could have been doing, so I appreciate you. And we'll be back next week because Facebook lives are canceled as of the 16th. What we're going to do is we're going to start doing more IG lives with our interviews. That way we can interact with you guys more and you guys can catch actual live episodes with actual live feedback. And we do need more black directors. So, as far as Falcon and Winter Soldier goes, Madam Hydra showed up on episode 5. I'm just trying to bring it back for y'all. Madam Hydra showed up on episode 5. We'll see how Madam Hydra, we'll see what role she plays going forward in Falcon and Winter Soldier and in the MCU. I'm also trying to see who the power broker is because I honestly think Sarah is the power broker. I think that after America abandoned her, she took all the knowledge she had with the CIA and from S.H.I.E.L.D. and actually became the power broker. And I think Sarah would be the one who would be the power broker because of her knowledge from S.H.I.E.L.D., Peggy Carter, Captain America, and the CIA. So we'll see if she becomes the power, if she is the power broker, if she's revealed as the power broker, or not. And yeah, my bad. I didn't mean Facebook Lives. I meant Facebook watch parties. I'm sorry. We air our episodes on Facebook watch parties. And so because those ended, Facebook is no longer doing watch parties as of the 16th. We're going to bring our episodes to Instagram. But I want to know if Sarah's, is the power broker and if she becomes a villain. And it kind of looks like it because she did free the villain from the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier who was trying to go after Sam. So I want to know if she's the power broker. I want to know Madam Hydra's role. That should be interesting. And if they're going to revive Hydra in some form or fashion in the MCU. And I also want to know what you guys think is going to become what you guys think is going to become of John Walker, because we know him in the comic as U.S. agent. But do you think they're going to give him a new identity? Do you think they're going to keep the U.S. agent and just make him like an ultra super villain? Because now he has powers. Now he's a super soldier. And he thinks he's some misguided Captain America. I wouldn't say misguided. He's pretty on par as far as representation of Captain America goes. But at least modern day Captain America. And if you think about it too, the contrast between Steve Rogers and John Walker is that Steve Rogers was what America stood for during World War II. Right? And John Walker is the representation of Captain America now. So the dynamics are interesting. I want to see what happens with John Walker. Do I think Zemo's coming back? Absolutely. I feel like Zemo might be in Black Panther 2 because it's about Wakanda. I think they're making a TV show about Wakanda. So I think Zemo might show up in that TV show. They said that they're taking Zemo to the raft, so he might play a role in Spider-Man No Way Home, or he might be mentioned. But I definitely feel like Zemo is going to be back. I actually love Zemo as a character. And I hate the fact that, like, at fleshing his character out, that he's not... I hate that he's an I consider him an anti-hero, but I hate that he was a villain because I definitely understand his plight. But we'll see. I can't wait to see Zemo. Thunderbolt Ross, yep. So they can have the clash of ideals between Sam and John. Yep, and that's going to be lit. That's absolutely going to be lit. I can't wait for that. We'll see. Oh, and just one more thing, guys. I understand John Walker's wife is black, but a black woman would never tolerate the shit that she puts up with from him. Anyway, so I'm going to go. It's your boy, Jonathan D'Angelo, a.k.a. Johnny D. You guys let me know in the comments what you think the predictions for the season finale is. And I'm going to be back next week to talk about it. So tune in next week. About same time, same day, Sunday, we'll have a discussion. You guys check it out before then so we can have a conversation. And we are out of here. I will catch y'all later. Peace. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend.